Hello, this is 6 Minute Medico. In the previous video, we saw about the study designs. It can be classified into experimental and observational. And in experimental, it is further classified into randomized control trials and non-randomized control trials. In this video, we are going to see about this randomized control trials. So, if you have not watched this study design videos, please see in the playlist so that it will be easy for understanding this video. Now, randomized control trials. In randomized control trials, first we have to follow 6 basic steps in them. Randomized control trials, you have to follow the 6 basic steps. First, drawing up a protocol. You have to make a protocol for this control trial. Then, selecting reference and experimental population. This is the second step. Third one is randomization. Fourth one is manipulation or intervention. Fifth one is follow-up. And sixth one is assessment of the outcome what we have got in the study. So, the first step is that protocol. Protocol means what all we have to maintain in the study, what are the procedures we are doing, and what should not be changed in the study is coming under this protocol. So, study is conducted under a strict protocol. This strict protocol means first what we are making should not be changed throughout the study till we analyze that. So once a protocol has been evolved, it should be strictly adhered throughout the study. Okay. So the protocol is called a strict protocol. Then the protocol aims at preventing bias. We would see about this bias in the end of this video. So preventing bias, this protocol is maintained. Then is to reduce the source of errors in the study. Okay. After forming this protocol, we must know whether this protocol is perfect or any deformity or any defect is there in this protocol. So we are running a preliminary test that is called as pilot study. Pilot study, we are running a short study with this protocol and we are saying any drawback in this protocol, and we are finding out the feasibility and operational efficacy using this pilot studies. So first step is protocol. The second one is selecting reference and experimental population. So in case of randomized control trials, first we have to select a reference population. A reference population means it can be a whole group limited to a geography, or persons living in a particular area, or a specific age group people, or males, or occupational or social groups. Like that way we can take any one. That is called as reference group. And the experimental or study group must come under this reference group. So they are derived from the reference group. And for selecting these experimental and reference group, there must be 3 criteria. Okay, the 3 criteria that this experimental group must consist of. 3 criteria this experimental group must consist of. It includes informed consent. Informed consent, that is after getting the informed consent from the volunteers, we have to explain the procedure what we are going to do and what are the outcome that can be obtained from this experiment. All should be explained to the volunteers or participant, and they should sign in this informed consent. Then the representative of the population, that is the volunteer should be the representative of the population to which they belong. So first informed consent must be we must be getting the informed consent. Then representative of the population to which they belong, they must be belonging to the population. They should be qualified or eligible for the trial. They must be qualified or eligible for the trial. These are the 3 criteria the participants or volunteers must fulfill. First is informed consent, then representative of the population. They must be the representative of the population, then qualified or eligible for the trial. Okay, this is selecting reference and experimental population. First we saw protocol, then selecting reference and experimental population, then randomization. Randomization is nothing but a statistical procedure. This procedure means this is mainly to eliminate bias. Okay, first we would see what is bias. Bias means in case of selecting the volunteers and dividing them into control and reference groups, control group, reference group, and the random group, what we are doing. In these 2 groups, there may be any bias. So it can be either subject variation, that is on the bias on the part of the participant. If the individual who is in this experiment knows that they are getting that specific drug or vaccine, like that, they may think that they are getting well, and they feel that they are getting well from the disease, like that way, and that can be a bias of that experiment. So this is known as subject variation. Then observer bias. Observer bias means it is on the investigator who is experimenting the trial. So is the investigator measuring the outcome of the therapeutic trial. If the investigator knows that this person is if 2%, if we consider 2%, one is getting that vaccine and another is not getting that vaccine. If the observer knows that he is getting the vaccine, so he may have a bias on this person that he will get well and he may not get the disease, like that way. So this is observer bias. Then the third one is bias in evaluation. That is, the investigator may subconsciously give a favorable report of the outcome of the trial. So this is the similar way, like that the one who gets the vaccine will always have the prevention of the disease like that way. This is known as bias in evaluation. So three types of bias, that is subject variation, observer bias, and bias in evaluation. So these three bias can be eliminated by using this randomization. So randomization means a statistical procedure by which the participants are allocated into groups, usually the study and the control groups. So randomization is a statistical procedure by which the participants are allocated into groups, usually the study and the control groups. It is an attempt to eliminate the bias. Okay, this is the third step. Then the fourth step is manipulation. Manipulation means we have to intervene or manipulate the experimental group by application or withdrawal of a suspected causal factor. So this is the main step. After randomization, we are dividing them into study and control groups. For control groups, we may not give any vaccine or like that way. In case of study groups, we may give that vaccine or any drug we are going to we are going to check under this trial will be given to this study group. So this is the step, that is intervene or manipulation of the study. So this is the main step. So first we protocol, we have to maintain and study the protocol, and we have to fix the protocol. It should not be, we have strictly adhere to the protocol, and any changes should not be made in this. Then selecting the reference and the experimental population. Then the third one is randomization, that is dividing into study and control groups. The fourth one is manipulation, that is intervention or manipulating the study group by application or withdrawal or reduction of the suspected causal factor. Okay. Then the follow-up. Follow-up is very much important, because after giving this manipulation or intervention, we have to follow up so that we can find out the results of the manipulator intervention made. So examination of the experimental and control group subjects at defined intervals. So regularly we have to monitor them in a standard manner. So we should not make bias on thinking that this is experimental group and control group like that way. So in a standard manner we have to maintain with equal intensity under the same, so with the equal intensity and under the same given circumstances in the same time frame till the final assessment of the outcome. So we should follow this all these measures, that is in a definite intervals in a standard manner with equal intensity and then under the same given circumstances in the same time frame till the final outcome is obtained. Okay. In case of follow up, we have to know about a term known as attrition. Attrition means we have to follow up for a particular period of time this study and control groups. So there may be some losses to follow up. This may be either due to death of the individual or migration of the individual or the loss of interest of the individual. So all these factors may lead to loss of follow-up, that is known as attrition. So final one is the assessment. In assessment, we can divide them into positive results and negative results. Positive results means reduced incidence or severity of the disease. So after giving intervention, the severity of the disease is reduced. This is known as positive results. And negative results. Negative results means that is the severity and frequency of side effects and complications can occur either due to disease or due to the drugs like that way. So severity and frequency of side effects and complications, if any, including death, this is known as negative results of the trial. Okay. So assessment can be classified into positive results and negative results. So bias, I have already mentioned that randomization is done to eliminate bias. It is mainly of three types: subject variation, observer bias, and bias in evaluation. Okay. Now blinding. So here in this 6 steps, after doing the 6 steps, there is one concept known as blinding. Blinding means while doing this trial, either the observer or the intervention made control groups and the evaluating experimental groups, then the evaluators. So 3. Either the observer may be blinded, that is they may not know who is the control group and who is the experimental group. Then the experimental, that is interventional group, may not know that they are control or experimental like that, and the evaluators. So it is 3 types, either single blind or double blind or triple blind. If this participant alone who is experimenting this drugs or vaccine may not know they are in either control group or experimental group. If they are not aware, means it is known as single blind trial. If double blind trial means both the observer as well as the intervener, that is the experimenting group, are not aware of which group they belong to, then it is known as double blind group. Okay. Then triple blind group means observer, the experimenting group, and the evaluators, one who is doing the finest thing, that is the investigator, evaluator, and the person. All the 3 do not know that who is the control group and who is the experimenting group. It is known as triple blind trial. Okay. So this is the 3 ways of blinding. The most common blinding used is double blinding. Even though triple blinding should be used as this is the ideal one, but double blinding is the most commonly used method. Okay. Now the types of randomized control trials. It is of 6 types. One is clinical trial. This is clinical trial. Second one is preventive trials. Third one is risk factor trials. Fourth one is cessation trials. Fifth one is trials of etiological agents, and sixth one is evaluation of health services. So first one is clinical trials. Clinical trial means evaluating the therapeutic agents, like we are giving beta blockers and checking whether it prevents the cardiovascular morbidity in persons surviving the MI. So we are giving the drug and seeing whether it prevents the morbidity of the mortality of the cardiovascular patients. Then folate treatment or supplementation in before consumption period, so that it prevents the neural tube defects like that way. This is clinical trials. Another one example is aspirin in evaluating the cardiovascular mortality, in decreasing the cardiovascular mortality. Then beta carotene in preventing the cancer incidence. Then coronary bypass surgery in the prevention of MI. All these interventions are mainly to see, all these are like the clinical trials. These are the examples of clinical trials. We are doing something so that we can prevent another on morbidity or mortality like that way. So this is known as clinical trials. So evaluating therapeutic agents. The second one is preventive trials. Preventive trials means this is mainly a primary prevention measures, primary preventive measure. This is mainly to prevent or eliminate a disease on an experimental basis. Okay, so example is vaccine and chemotherapeutic drugs. So vaccine and chemotherapeutic drugs comes under this preventive trial. So analysis of preventive trial. So from the preventive trial, what are the analysis we can do is that what the benefit the community will derive from the measure. So what the benefit the community will derive from the measure, then what are the risks involved in this preventive trials, then cost for the health service, mainly for money for men and material and resources. All this you should have first known. That is benefit, what the benefit the community will derive, what are the risk factors, and cost involved in the health measures. So the main disadvantage is that large number of subjects and longer time span is needed for this preventive trials, and greater number of practical problems is there in this preventive trials. So then the third one is risk factor trial. Risk factor trial comes under the types of this preventive trial. In case like that in lung cancer, smoking is the main risk factor for lung cancer. So we can prevent that risk factor and see whether the disease can be prevented or like that. Interrupt the unusual sequence of development of disease for those who have the risk factor. So interrupting the unusual sequence of the disease for those who have the risk factor. Those who are having the risk factor, we are intervening the development of disease. For example, here for cardiovascular disease, blood cholesterol, smoking, hypertension, regular physical activity, all these are the risk factors. So we are intervening these risk factors and reducing blood cholesterol level, cessation of smoking, controlling the hypertension, and promotion of the regular physical activity. All these reduces this coronary heart disease. This is a risk factor trial, for example. So risk factor can be single factor or multi-factor. Here coronary heart disease is a multifactorial. Okay, then clofebrate can be given to lower the serum cholesterol, which can further lower the coronary heart disease. This also comes under the risk factor trial. Okay, then cessation experiments. This is another type of preventive trial. Here it is to evaluate a habit, evaluate the termination of habit. For example, what I said that cigarette smoking and lung cancer. So stoppage of this cigarette smoking can prevent this lung cancer. So this is of a cessation trial, which comes under preventive too. Significant reduction of the disease following termination. Significant reduction of the disease following termination. So it gives a hypothesis that this is the risk factor for the following disease. It gives a hypothesis that smoking is a risk factor for smoking is a risk factor or a cause for lung cancer, like that. This is cessation experiments. Now fifth one is trials of etiological agents. This is to confirm or refuse whether this is the etiological cause for this disease or like. So for example here, a retrolental fibroplasia. Retrolental fibroplasia causes blindness in the newborn. This study was made because many newborns got blindness and died because of this retrolental fibroplasia. So they made experiments and trials. They come to an analysis that there is a strong association between administration of oxygen to premature babies that leads to retrolental fibroplasia and which causes blindness. So now for premature infants, administration of oxygen is stopped so that retrolental fibroplasia is prevented, which leads to blindness also is prevented. This comes under the etiological agent trials. Now evaluation of health services. The latest one is this health services. Health services play a major role in controlling many diseases. So evaluation of health services by making trials. So access the effectiveness and efficacy of the health services. So in this trial we are accessing the effectiveness and efficacy of health services. So first, necessity of choice arises. That is, if resources are limited and we must make a priority so that the people can be benefited. So this effectiveness of health services trials came into play. Priorities must be set first, so that implementation of large number of activities which leads to the welfare of the society. For example, in case of TB treatment, mainly hospitals and sanatoriums were involved in this TB pulmonary TB treatment. So it is very costly, and follow-up is also not that much better, and results were good but costly, and follow-up is difficult. So now another one came, that another method of treating this pulmonary tuberculosis is domiciliary treatment. That is, in home itself, they can be treated with the daily regimens and like that way, short course regimens. So domiciliary treatment of pulmonary TB are as effective as hospital or sanatorium, which is most costly. Okay, so this comes under the evaluation of health services. So randomized trial types: first one clinical trial, second one is preventive trial, third one is risk factor trial, fourth one is cessation experiments, fifth one is trials of etiological agents, and sixth one is evaluation of health services. Now study designs. Study designs, it can be study designs of this randomized controlled trials. It can be concurrent or crossover. Okay, concurrent or crossover. Here in concurrent and crossover, if in concurrent, first a patient is divided into or a group is divided into, one is exposed to a specific risk factor, another one is non exposed to a specific risk factor, and then we are observing them and we are comparing the outcome. This is known as concurrent. So in concurrent, first exposure and exposure group are made, then observation is made after a particular period of time. In case of crossover, patients are selected or group is selected, in which exposure group is first done, then unexposure group is made. For example, if you are giving a drug which is effective for a particular disease, and first for a particular group we are giving the drug, and the other group we are giving placebo, like that, and after a particular period of time we are waiting till the drug is eliminated completely from the body of the exposed group. Then after complete elimination of the drug, we are interchanging them. So first who is unexposed are given the drug, and then the one who is exposed during the first time are given placebo, like that way. Here first a group of people are selected and a drug is given, and another group placebo is given. Then a particular period of time till the drug is eliminated we are waiting, and then the one who have given the drugs are now given placebo, and the one who have given placebo are now given drugs. After a particular period of time, then we are comparing the outcomes of both the groups. This is mainly to eliminate bias, and the results obtained from this study is very much preferable than others. So the study methods, it is of two types, that is study designs, it can be of two types, that is concurrent parallel study, then crossover type of study designs. Okay, we have almost finished the randomized control trials. So gross thing, first we have to select a suitable population. Before that we have to give a protocol, then select the suitable sample, that is experimental or study group. First a reference group, in among them we have to selecting the experimental or study group, then making necessary exclusion. Among these, if they are not eligible means we are eliminating them, and if they are eligible and giving consent means they are taking. If they are not giving consent also, they are not taken into study. Then randomization, then intervention or manipulation. In randomization it is divided into experimental and control groups, then manipulation or intervention, after that follow up and assessment. This is a gross of the randomized control trial. We can draw this chart in the exam. So thank you. If you need any more videos about different topics, please mention them in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel for more videos, and if any comment, please mention them in the comment section. Thank you.